And we're live.
Hey guys, good evening and welcome to Lifesavers channel. We're discussing Mandela effects in the life. Thanks for joining me today as we uncover the mysteries of the Mandela effect itself and find out the true meaning of it all. We must discover what is really happening, what is really going on, to change these things that we know and hold dear to us. And let us help others discover the meaning of the Mandela effect, how it affects them, and the price of help. Thank you. Be sure to hit the like and subscribe down below.
Hey guys, welcome to another great show where we deliver Mandela effects, and we've got plenty to talk about here.
It never stops.
Yeah, they just keep coming, right?
And coming and coming and coming.
Hey, I see Adam Bachwich is in our chat.
Sandy,
I know.
I am there.
Yeah.
Hi, Adam.
Wow.
Hi guys.
He's got a birthday coming up too, guys. It's part of my birthday shout-outs.
Yay, happy early birthday, Adam.
Well, when you guys let me do the birthdays, I'll mention him.
Well, let's give a minute because we had the wrong time up for the show and a whole hour later. Let's give our chat a minute to get here.
Did you fix it, Brian?
Yeah, I fixed the time, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't have notification that we're live, hopefully.
You know what it's going to look like we're really early and it'll scare people. That we're actually on time.
Hey, guys, wait. Guys.
What?
Adam is getting married Friday. Congratulations.
Yay. Congratulations. Yay. Yeah.
Yes.
He's been posting it under his Facebook. I've seen it. Yep. Congratulations.
And hi, Tinhead. Welcome.
Yep. How many people we got in the chat here? Let me see.
There are 10 people in the chat. Hey, Burgess. Welcome.
Hey, Burgess. Hey.
Apparently, notifications do work. Showing up.
And posting in the groups. Sandy, I did share it in Curious's group and then the other group, the Mandela Theory. So I did. Thank you for doing that post for me.
No problem.
I did share, like I said, I did share it in two other groups, and one was Curiosus group. Thank you.
And Seth, you want to give a shout out? You want to say hi? Oh, okay.
Oh yeah.
I did.
You guys remember Seth, my son?
Uh-huh.
Hi, Seth.
Hey, Seth.
Hello.
Welcome, anonymity. I can't say that word. Anonymity. Anonymity.
We like watching Cinema Sins on YouTube.
So do I. I like that show too. Well,
No,
YouTube channel.
No, we watch Birdman.
Is it Birdman?
Yeah, Birdman.
They have TV Sins now. That's what he's talking about.
Birdman.
Why the videos?
Oh,
Sandy, what's up with your icon? You want to explain the Shiva Diva?
Oh, that's from Mandela Monday. I didn't have time to delete all my settings just to add a new photo. So
that's cute. I like your little Shiva Diva.
I didn't make that. That's a T-shirt.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's a T-shirt for you?
That exists in this world. Yes.
What exists?
My icon. It's a T-shirt.
Did you buy it?
No.
You really need to get that T-shirt. That's for you. That's meant for you, girl.
All right, so should we start?
Do you want to wait for more people, or are we good?
We can start with the birthdays.
All right, I'll do the birthdays.
Yeah, I think we're about 5 minutes in. I think we ought to.
Okay.
Did you have any more birthdays, or that's it?
Yeah, I do. Hold on, I'm gonna sneeze. Sorry.
And Brian, we're keeping an eye out for Jeff in about 20 minutes, and I'm probably going to get kicked out about 20 minutes early because I was sitting in the StreamYard for about 15-20 minutes. Just to give you a heads up.
Is that the StreamYard bug?
Yeah.
She's got the bug.
I gotta ask you. So, what's up with the Shiva Diva? What's up with
I
that?
already just I just asked her that.
Oh, it's a repeat. Okay.
So somebody, I'm just going to say somebody, just because I'm associated with the Scarab Performance Channel. That's the only reason. I've never spoken to the person. Somebody
Oh.
decided that my name was Shiva Diva
Okay.
on YouTube.
Oh
Said it out
God.
loud. So now I'm Shiva Diva. Fizzy Pop is Fuzzy Pop, and that's us.
I've called her Fuzzy before. Accidentally.
Now Fizzy's icon I actually made, but this one was a T-shirt. I was like, that's perfect. I'm using it.
It's cute, Sandy. I really like it. It's very spicy.
I like it too. Who designed the cartoon? Like, or
I have no idea. I have no idea. It was just a T-shirt for sale on Redbubble. No idea. And they
You gotta get it.
Redbubble. Let me tell you about Redbubble. You shouldn't support them. The reason being is they steal artwork from people who create
What?
the art. Yeah, and then they
No.
sell it. Yeah, they sell other people's artwork and don't give them any money for it.
That's not good.
No, it's not. So you shouldn't support sites like that. Like don't buy T-shirts from Wish. Don't buy T-shirts. Like they're stealing the artwork 1,000%.
Oh wow.
Mm-hmm.
so are we
So
ready to
are
go?
you doing the birthdays, Teresa?
Yeah, I was just waiting for you to finish your story.
I was done. Go ahead.
Okay. I'm going to start in the middle of June. I'm going to start. I know it's not really middle, but it's almost middle. Curious's birthday was June 11th. Dominic Frost was June 12th. Claire P., which is Curious's mother, June 15th. Jeff Zanzibar, I'm going to repeat his birthday. June 18th was Jeff Zanzibar. Nick Dougherty was June 25th, which is coming up in a few days. Damien Alston. Oh, yesterday. I'm sorry. I lost track what day it is. Damien Alliston's birthday is the 29th, which is next week, correct?
It's in 3 days, yes.
3 days. Then we're going to go in July now. Jonathan Trimmer. Oh, Lordy, I forgot to write his birthday down. Oh, July 1st. Adam Bockwich, your birthday, happy birthday, is coming up July 3rd. Ripshot Sutton, July 8th. Odin Lush, July 14th. And last but not least, Linda Langley is July 22nd. And do anybody know?
Last but not least is my Joey, July 11th.
Oh, okay. Happy birthday. Brian, you have anybody in July you want to shout out?
Well,
Birthday?
I will say today's birthday are good friends of mine. Mike, Mike who was on here last time, Mike Brixey.
Yeah, he told a scary story.
Yes, his wife's birthday is today. So.
Oh, good. Happy birthday to you.
Yeah, happy birthday, man.
All right, and that's it for birthdays, and happy birthday. And again, congratulations to Adam on your upcoming nuptials. Is that the right word? Nuptials?
Yes, nuptials, yes.
Make sure I'm using that in the right sense. Okay, and I guess we're ready to go. Yep. Brian, you want to start in Flickr? Sandy?
Yeah, sure. Sandy, are you
All
ready?
right.
We're ready.
I'm ready.
All right, let's go.
Welcome, Ronaldo. Ronaldo says, hello, Teresa.
Hi, Ronaldo. Welcome.
Which one am I covering first here?
I would
think,
start lower
Sandy?
down, let people show up, cover the stuff that you haven't covered that's been covered on other channels.
Yeah, we want to save the good new ones for later, right?
Yeah, do me a favor. Cover Curious's font. Because
yes,
she
my
wants
font.
to post
I want to
that.
do the font. That one affects me, Sandy.
I know. And she wants to post it, so cover that one first. Get that one out of
Brian.
the way so Teresa can post it.
Yeah, I've been. This kind of hits me hard because when I got out of high school back in the 80s, I went to a technology school for a couple of years, and that's where I learned how to start typing. Not in high school, but technology school, because you can work at your own pace. Because I'm a little bit slow learning, but I learned it really fast after a while. And I've always used this font, and now it's been Mandela. which is upsetting. And I've been typing since, oh my God, since
So
the
which one?
80s. Yeah.
The Times New Roman, the font?
Yeah, it affected me really bad. So I'm really upset with this one. It's a
He's
personal
giving
one
the
for me.
answer away just by asking you.
Oh. Okay, we're going to show it.
Okay. Yes, Ed?
Yep.
That would be good.
That's not. Oh, oh, it's backwards. I forgot to change it, Teresa.
What do you mean you
That's
forgot
not.
to change it?
That's not the first slide. That's the problem. Oh well.
Well, Brian, why don't you show the first slide?
Get back out there. Right there. There it is.
You want me to do it, or do you want me to read it, or you want to read
You
it?
can go, Teresa. You should jerk
Yeah,
over,
this
but
one.
you read it.
Okay, the credit goes to Curious and Curiouser, who will be doing a show with her next Thursday, correct?
Yes, our show is
And
Thursday with her.
there should be a post in the group somewhere, in her group and my group. So what font name do you remember? 1, New Times Roman, or 2, Times New Roman? If you guys or anybody out there that does a lot of typing and kind of works with this, is this familiar with you? Because I mean, for people who don't type, might not know this font. You know what I mean, Sandy?
Yes.
Yeah.
But
since
Teresa, I think a lot of people will remember either one or the other because
okay, let's go
all
to
through
the chat.
grade school we had to do papers. You know what I'm saying?
That's true. Hey, Preliminal. Hey, your mom's in the chat, Brian.
Oh, hey, Mom.
Hi, Anita.
Yep.
Hi, Roman. Hi, Preliminal. Hi, Susan.
Roman Solaris is 2. Adam Bachwich says Times New Roman. Ronaldo says Times New Roman. Okay. Anita says New Times Roman. Oh wow. She remembers it switched around.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Anybody else? What font do you remember?
Hey, Jacobian.
Hi. Hey, Jacobian. Times New Billion %. Susan A. Welcome is 1. Welcome.
Susan remembers New Times Roman.
Yep.
New Times
Anybody? Yep. Hi, Jacobian. Oh, you just said hi again. Okay.
Forget Brian, right, Jacobian?
Yeah, forget Brian. Yeah.
No, I remember number 2, Times New Roman.
Same. I remember too.
Tinhead says 1. Scott Garrison says, I remember IBM Selectric. You're welcome, Susan A. Okay. Anybody else?
Did I say what, or did I say Times New Roman? I remember Times New Roman in case I said 1.
Jacobian, haha. Sorry, Brian. Oh, that's funny. All right. Well, let's just move on, guys. We got a lot to do, and it's
okay. Listen, guys. If you're outnumbered, it's fine. Just put what you remember.
okay. All right. Well, we're gonna move on and see what the next one is. Next slide. Oh Lordy, I can't read.
No. Next slide is the first one you had up, Brian.
Yeah, go back to the first one, Brian.
It's reversed.
There you go. Curious and Curiouser remembers New Times Roman, but it's always been Times New Roman. And while I have the current memory, the residue shows, Sandy, the residue shows that I probably got an update. Ugh. Times New Roman.
Because you don't have the current memory, correct, Teresa?
Don't mess with my head.
You said you remember New Times Roman. It affected you so much that you wanted to put it in Facebook.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. Sorry, I'm just tired. It's been a long weekend.
Sandy is the current memory, not you. That's what I'm saying.
New Times Roman.
For you.
Yeah,
New Times New Roman for me.
Yeah. You remember Times New Roman, right? And I remember New Times Roman. Okay.
So, Brian, now you have to skip ahead 2 to get to the residue. Sorry
this really messes with your head, you know that.
Whoa. We are flying through it.
Brian.
I hit it twice and then it skipped.
And I imagine this is residue. New Times Roman, Sandy, sounds good. You know that?
It doesn't to me. It sounds so wrong. It was always Times New Roman for me. I believe you, but it sounds so wrong to me.
I mean, I've been typing since the 80s, so that's all I know. You know,
See,
guess I'm
guys,
old.
when I say I have trouble with Flickr, this is one of the things it does. It will throw things in the wrong order, and then I gotta go back and fix it, and it's not easy to fix. I have to actually create a new folder and put everything back in the right order. I hate this. I hate.
Oh my
If
God.
anyone knows of a Flickr alternative that's, we'll say,
Okay.
less than $5 a month, please let me know, because everything I found doesn't let you do folders. We can't present.
Okay,
I hate
that's
it.
just residue. I don't know why. New Times Roman looks better to me, Sandy. You
I
know,
believe you.
I'm curious to know what my group's going to think about this one. I really am. See what they remember. Hopefully, I'll get some responses on it. I hope.
Preliminal says Times New doesn't make sense to me. Susan says, yes, me too. Touch typing since the 80s. Anita
Yeah.
says, I was a secretary in New Times Roman.
Yeah. So your mom remembers it like me, right?
Now, I was taught how to type in the 90s, and it was Times
Oh,
New Roman, so maybe it
right.
changed from the 80s to the 90s.
Yeah, and like I said, I started learning typing. Let's see, I got out of high school in 81. So around 82 was when I literally started learning how to type.
And I
Like,
started
really.
typing around 92.
Yeah, and I was 82, so I'm a lot older than you, Sandy. And I went to a technology school, and that's what they taught me. You know what I mean? That's what they taught me.
Yeah.
Yep.
I just realized that my main screen where I'm watching the chat is paused. Still on the question.
Oh, wow. All right. And yet more residue. Me too, Susan. I'm a little bit older than you, back about 3 years.
Adam remembers Times New Roman like I do, and he says
Oh, wow.
90s for me too. So I'm wondering.
That's crazy.
The 80s to the 90s seems to be the decade.
Do you think it changed somewhere in the 90s and we just don't know?
Or the late 80s.
Yeah, I have to look into that one. All right, Brian. Still going there with the residue?
Yep.
So much.
New Times Roman. I know, it's weird.
Yeah.
It's weird that there's so much residue for it. Isn't it, Brian?
Yeah.
Like, I do not remember New Times Roman, but I have to admit there's a lot of residue for it. A lot.
That means a lot of people remember it that way, Sandy.
I know. We're talking
Guess I'm not
research
alone.
papers, schools telling their students, like teachers telling their students that they have to use this font. Probably drove some of the students crazy trying to find it.
Too bad you couldn't call Joey's college and ask what they teach.
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
I think why does this woman need to know this? You know.
Anita,
Like,
the 70s would have been what was in the 80s. We're saying it was possibly New Times Roman until the late 1980s. So everything before that would be new.
Yeah.
And everything after would be Times.
Yep. Is that it, Brian?
Yeah.
Thank you. That was a good one. You got too many tabs, Brian.
Yeah, I know.
Look at all those icons at the bottom. You got like thousands of icons at the bottom of your screen. Oh my God.
Yeah, that's a typical Mac. That's what you typically see.
Mac crazy.
Little delay there.
There you go. All right. We want to move on to one of Sandy's or one of mine or one of them. Oh, that's right. We're doing the older ones. Sorry.
There's a typo in one of yours, Teresa. I didn't see it till I was putting it together, and by then I didn't have time to fix it. So
you think I'll notice it?
Yes. Oh yes.
Okay. That's funny.
I think it's in the Iraq one.
Okay. Oh, it's that one. Okay. Oh, good. You did the city for me. Thank you.
The city
Brian,
isn't a typo. It's a standard word.
Wait till you see this one, Brian. You're gonna freak. Can you do it now, or does he need to wait to the end?
He can do it now.
Scroll down to the one about city Iraq. This one's gonna blow your mind.
It's at the top, Teresa.
To the top. I'm sorry. Yeah. Yeah, we better start.
I'm looking for it. I know I'm looking for it. Iraq.
Yeah, you'll see it. City. Is that what you called it, Sandy? What'd you call it?
Yeah, Iraq. Drought.
Iraq. You'll see it.
Yeah, I left it, Eddie. I didn't have time to change the picture.
Everybody's going to be asking about your picture.
Well,
Oh yeah, there it is.
if you watch Mandela Monday, you'll know.
They'll remember it. Yeah, that's what I meant. Just
Yeah.
tell them it's leftovers. Leftovers. See it, Brian? There we go.
Yep, I see it.
Well, this one blew my mind. I saw a article the other day about this, and I was like, Sandy, we got to do this one. Something spectacular is happening in Iraq right now, and it's all because of a severe month-long drought.
You didn't see the typo?
Lunch?
Something.
Oh, I skipped right past it. I'm sorry. That's not a big. It's not a big one. Yeah, my
That's
mind
what my
already
keyboard does. It puts in extra letters, and I have to go back and
Oh,
fix
it's
it.
okay. It's okay. It was hardly noticeable to me because I was just looking at the word something.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I guess because my mind is computing what it's supposed to be. Does that make sense?
Gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can actually read upside down too, which is crazy.
Same.
I can read upside down. Yep.
And
Okay,
in
go
here.
ahead, Brian. Yeah, wait till you guys see this one. This is going to blow your mind. The Tigris River has been shrinking for years, but the past few months have seen water levels at their lowest in recorded history. Because of these receding waters, an ancient lost city has been found.
Brian,
Really, which one?
Oh,
Brian, you
wait
got
till
to
you
be
see this,
careful with
Brian.
that music. You're going to get a copyright. They go by
Oh,
tone.
go back. There you go.
That music said.
Oh,
I'm
nicknamed the Atlantis.
Music like that.
Okay, nicknamed the Atlantis of the Tigris. Researchers believe that an earthquake in 1350 BC led to the city sinking underwater. It literally went underwater. All right, go ahead, Brian.
Wait, I need to say something here.
Oh, go ahead.
This is what's confusing to me.
Okay, go
Usually
back
when
then.
there's an earthquake and it displaces the water then recedes. Why did the water not
True.
recede? I don't understand. Anyway, go on.
Okay. Believed to be the Bronze Age city, I'm going to try to say this name, Zakiku, something like that.
Zakiku. Yeah.
Zakiku. It was the home of the Mitanni Empire from 1550 to 1350 BC. Go ahead, Brian. This is an artist's drawing of how the ruins would have looked, very similar to the city-state of the UR in southern Iraq. We're talking about the top picture, right, Sandy?
Yes, the top picture is the artist's rendition of what the sunken city would have looked like, which is very similar to the city-state of Ur, which was from around the same time period.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Go ahead, Brian.
Okay.
Thank you. Next slide. Not a Mandela, but pretty amazing, so we wanted to share. But because of a drought, Sandy, this city came up, right? Pretty much.
That's so crazy, man.
Oh, I know. And now there's architects excavating it, and they're finding all kinds of things, right, Sandy?
And they're racing against time because the thing with droughts, Teresa and I were talking about Lake Mead near her, how the water is at its lowest level ever. But if you go back to all of the 1900s, okay? The droughts like that are cyclical. Like every couple of decades, there's a major drought for a long time, and then prosperous with water again. It's a cycle that just happens. And of course, they're blaming global warming, but in the 1960s and 1950s, it was 1 inch higher than it is today. One
Yeah.
inch. So no, even though it's at the lowest level in history, recorded history, it's only 1 inch lower than in the 1960s. So,
which is crazy because they're making a big deal out of it right now, and everybody in Vegas are freaking out like we're not going to have water and
well,
we're going to be
Teresa,
on.
wait. That
Yeah.
I can see them worrying about because there's a lot more people in Vegas today than there was in the 1960s.
True. Yeah. And we
But
get
what I'm
along.
trying to say is with this,
Yeah. Uh-huh.
they're racing against time because it could reverse and start filling up again.
It
There
could.
is rain in the desert once in a blue moon, and if they have a bad rainstorm, that's going to flood. So they are racing against time to preserve the
We rarely
city
get
before it goes underwater.
rain here. It's the rarity for us. And when it does, people act like it's something crazy. You know what I mean? Like
But it
if we can't
floods because the ground is so dry it can't absorb it.
exactly.
Yeah.
But we do have seasons in here. They call them like flash floods, monsoon weather, which should be coming up. I don't forgot what month it is, but we do have monsoon weather here, and it'll come down for like 10, 15 minutes, and then it'll stop, and then we'll have like a small flash flood, and it'll dry up. It's so stupid,
Hey,
you know.
Brian, before you
Yeah.
go to the next presentation, let me
Uh-huh.
send you the image I was just talking about so people can see what I'm
Yeah,
talking about
yeah,
with the cyclical process of Lake Mead. And it's like this for any place that experiences drought. Like they've even told us now that, Egypt, when the Egyptians were building those pyramids, it was a jungle. And it goes through these cyclical periods of being full of vegetation and then complete desert. It's just the way our earth works. And people just look at like the last 50 years and say, oh my God, it's global warming. It may be global warming, but this isn't. When it comes to, you gotta go back further, and not just 100 years. If you go back millennia, like they do have recorded history from like ice samples and soil samples and things like that. Cyclical. It happens. It's just the cycle of the earth, I guess you could say. But anyway, Brian's going to show you a chart for Lake Mead, which is now in its, I'm doing quotations in the air, lowest level in recorded history.
well, they seem very worried about it, Sandy. The people.
You bet. Did you send me something, Sandy? Okay.
I did. Did I send it to our group or did I send it to you? No, I sent it to
You
you.
sent it to the group.
I sent it to you. It's underneath the
Okay.
slides.
Okay, I see it. This is what we're looking at here, guys. So it's purely cycles. It runs in cycles.
We got very lucky from the 1960s to now. That's basically what it is. We had a nice cycle. Usually it's like up, down, up, down, up, down. But this is like a nice cycle of lots of water. And now we have a little drought happening, and that's just normal. It's just normal. I can't say anything more than it's normal. But it is more of a crisis because there are more people in Las Vegas. And what's that town near you, Teresa, that you
We have
visit? What's that?
here from California because their gas prices are crazy.
No, what's that town that you go to? That town you
Boulder
visit.
City.
What is it? Boulder City?
Yeah, which is where Lake Mead starts.
So all of the people in that area rely on Lake Mead for their water. So it is more of an emergency than it was in the 60s. But
Hey, Brian, your dad's in the chat too.
Oh, hey, Dad. Let's
hey,
talk about
Tom.
King Tut. Let's talk about King Tut, you guys.
I think both your parents are in the chat.
Sticking with the desert theme.
Yeah, since we're talking about desert.
All about. Andy, this is yours. I will mute you.
Okay, so guys, if you already saw this, just answer what you originally answered. There's a lot of questions here. King Tut has changed for me again, and I'd like to know what you remember. Brian?
Yeah?
You can go to the next one now.
All right.
The first question, what is the spelling of King Tut's name? Now, I don't expect you to know how to spell the whole name, but the end of the name, there's one vowel missing. Which vowel do you remember? Just put the vowel in the chat. A, E, I, O, or U. Don't even think of putting a Y or an X. A, E, I, O, U. So Anita, your mom remembers E. Roman remembers A. And Eddie remembers U. And Reynaldo is E. Welcome, Texas Jelly Bean, who says Nephilim. Oh, Frank Nunez, I missed you. He says E. Teresa, Brian, you want to chime in? What do you remember?
I don't know. I honestly don't remember. I think it was Ian.
Okay, so E for you. Teresa?
I remember an A.
An A for Teresa. Faith,
Yep.
Hope, Love, welcome, says you. Welcome to the people jumping in the chat. All right, Brian, we have a lot of answers. We can go on. We're all over the place. I'm going to add another one.
That's crazy.
Brian,
Yeah,
we need you to focus here.
I'm focusing.
There you go. The second question is about the imperial goatee. Which shape goatee do you remember? 1, 2, or 3? Do you remember it short and stubby, long and thinner, or do you remember a J shape? 1, 2, or 3 in the chat, everyone. Brian and Teresa, feel free to chime in.
I'm trying to remember. I think it was 1 or 2.
1. It looks a little bit too long for me, so I'm going to say 1.
Okay. In the chat, we have Roman with a 1, Frank with a 1, Anita with a 2, Faith, Hope, Love with a 1, Preliminal with a 1. Oh, Eddie remembered. Oh, yeah, I did say Eddie remembers the U. Sorry. Eddie says a 1, but it's probably 3. Anyone else? All right, we can go on, Brian.
Okay.
Question number 3, or I should say the final questions, are about the death mask and outer sarcophagus. So question 1 for this is, what color do you remember on the headpiece? The stripes on the headpiece, on the face, and eyes. So we're talking about the eyebrows, around the eyes, the stripes on the headpiece. What color do you remember? Do you remember black, blue, or both? Because some people said on Mandela Monday that they remember both. So what do you remember?
I'd say, I think there was a lot of gold in there too. A lot of gold and blue, and maybe some black.
Well, the gold is a given. That's the color of the sarcophagus.
Okay.
We're okay with the gold. We're looking
blue,
just for the stripes, like the filled in stuff.
Blue and black.
So yours is both. What about you, Brian? Okay, so, huh? What'd you say? No, don't move on. I'm asking you what you remember.
I don't know. I remember, let's see. Black or blue? I thought it was black.
Okay. So, welcome Ralph and Cassie, who says, sorry I'm late. My apologies, just got home. Still, I made it. And you still made it early, by the way. We are just starting. Now my weekend is definitely complete. So welcome, Ralph. Anita says black. Eddie says blue on gold. Roman says black. Frank says blue and gold. We're going back and forth here. Faith Hope Love says black around the eyes, stripes blue, so she's a both. Reynaldo, but it should be Aman with an O. From Aman came the word amen. Ralph says blue and gold, and Tom says King Tut was born Amarna. I never knew that. That's new to me too.
Born where?
No, it was born Amarna. I guess that was his name before he became king. And Eddie says a light blue. Okay, we can move on now, Brian. There's another question.
Now we
This
talked
what
about
happened.
things that,
Yeah, this is what happens when we don't look at things for a while. They change a lot sometimes. So, question 2. Do you remember the snake coming out of the forehead or continuing over the back of the head? Now, we know there's now a snake and like a vulture or something, some sort of bird. That's the original Mandela effect, that there's now two things up there instead of just the snake. But we're just talking about the snake here. Do you remember the snake coming out of the forehead or coiling over the back of the head? Just say back of head or forehead. Welcome, Tommy Apples. Roman says out of the forehead. Tommy Apples says forehead. Brian, what do you say?
forehead.
Teresa, what do you say?
I'm going to say just coming out of the forehead, but not going over. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. So, Joe Bloor,
Just coming out
welcome.
of the forehead, going over.
Okay. Reynaldo remembers two snakes. That's very interesting.
That is interesting.
And your mom says forehead. Frank says forehead. And he says that looks right with no bird too. We agree. We agree. Faith Hope Love says out of forehead. And Joe Bloor is saying yes, it was a vulture. Yes. All right, Brian, we can move on. Eddie didn't chime in on that one, did he? No. So there's that vulture that we don't remember.
I don't remember that vulture at all.
Now, Brian pointed this out, even though I'd already noticed it, but he saw it immediately as well. Do you remember the sarcophagus and the snake being so colorful? Because it's almost rainbow now. So when you're looking at King Tut, do you remember like the bottom of his sarcophagus being like multiple colors? And do you remember the snake being so colorful? So all you're answering now is yes or no. Brian, we remember the snake more like that vulture right there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
I don't remember it being multicolored.
And Faith Hope Love points out something that was bothering me, but I didn't catch on it. Like I couldn't think. Why is the snake so much taller than the vulture?
Yeah, it shouldn't be. They were the same size, if anything.
Yeah. So everyone in the chat is a resounding no. Or 9. Like Dean Martin. The name. I remember Tutankhamun with an O because of the amen. Or even Tutankhamen with an E. And I can even go with A. I could go with all of them because I've probably seen them all the ways before. But it's always been Tutankhamun, pronounced Tutankhamun with a U. But over in Egypt, Brian, can you take over? I'm going to mute while I'm giving Silas his water. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Brian, I meant read.
Oh, read.
Yes.
Okay, I remember Tutankhamun or even Tutankhamun, but it's always been Tutankhamun. But in over Egypt, the sign of the
Yeah, that's
tomb
one of
is
those
O
types.
and not a U. That's weird.
So if it's always been Tutankhamun with a U, why would the signs in Egypt say O like I remember? Tutankhamun.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense, does it? Sandy, you there?
I
We
am.
lost her. Oh, there we go.
No, I'm here. I told you I'm muting. I asked you to read and present while I give Silas water. I'm muting, giving him water.
Okay. So there's just some this isn't what you call residue. This is the way it is now
Yeah.
with the U. So again, it's the way it's spelled now is Tutankhamun. But there's so much, there is residue out there.
So I
These have,
separated each slide into a different letter. Here's E.
well, I remember the E. There's a O, residue with the O.
Like it's written in Egypt.
How do you remember Tutankhamun? King Tut? How do you remember his name being? Tutankhamun. How do you spell Tutankhamun? What's the
Tell
last
him
few
to
letters?
spell the last two letters, yeah.
What's the last two letters? Was it O-N, A-N, or U-N? Or E-N?
Ewan?
What?
Ewan?
U-N? So that says U-N.
Yeah, I would expect younger people learning about King Tut would have the current memory.
How about the goatee? Look at that long goatee. I remember a shorter, straight goatee, not thin, long, and curved like a lizard tongue. You remember the goatee looking like this? I think it was more straight up and down.
I don't remember it like that at all. You could literally balance a glass on top of that.
Like if you look at the side view, you can literally see that the snake is much taller than the vulture, which clearly when it changed the first time, I remember them being the same height.
I agree. That's a good find. Take a look.
Yeah, this
There's actually
residue.
more changes with this I left out because I didn't want to be here all night just on King Tut. So here's some residue of how I remember the goatee. Oh, now you want streets.
Did we lose Teresa?
No, she's there. She's muted.
I'm
Okay.
here.
All right, Brian. I'm done giving him water. I'll take over.
So the death mask and sarcophagus. You want to read this one?
You can read it if you want.
Okay. You want to read this one, Teresa?
Yeah, I guess. The death mask and the sarcophagus. I don't remember these being this colorful, mainly black and gold. Do you remember all of this color?
So for those that remember blue, do you remember reds and greens?
No.
I don't remember any of that. I don't remember his goatee thing being covered in blue. I don't remember that at all.
Mm-mm.
Welcome, Adam for Christ.
Hi, Adam for Christ. Yep. Okay. Well, All right. Go ahead, Brian. I have no memory of ever seeing the snake coil up and over his head, but it's like this on King Tut as well as a few other Egyptian death masks now.
Brian, can you stop for a second and let Jeff in? He's been backstage for like 5 minutes.
Oops, let Jeff in. Backstage. There he is. Oh,
Hey, Jeff.
Hey
hey
guys,
Jeff,
how are you?
welcome.
Hey, Jeff.
We're doing
Sandy.
Egyptian stuff right now. Mask. All right. Go ahead, Brian.
Okay.
Right.
So we can flip over?
Yeah, we were back to the mask. Please.
Which one? The one left to the...
The one we were doing.
We weren't done yet. You stopped to let Jeff in.
You
Okay.
stop. All right. We were talking about the snake going over the top of it, right, Sandy?
Yes, like the most important part.
Yeah. You see it, Brian?
Yep.
Okay. Back to where we were.
Am I sharing?
No, you're not.
Okay, I am sorry. I thought I was sharing.
No, you're not sharing. We'll let you know when you're. There you go.
Okay. Whoa.
Oh, that's a little bit too close. I already read that. Go ahead, the next one. That was where we looked. Yeah.
Well,
go
no,
ahead.
don't go anywhere. Go back a second. I want him
Okay.
to zoom in again, but not that bad. Show the people, zoom in on the picture so they can see very well the snake going over the back.
Oh my
You
God!
guys see
Look.
that?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
wasn't the
coils
snake was-
first and then goes over the back.
It was not
No.
like that.
No way. Nope. 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 Mm-mm.
Hey,
That's crazy.
Seth, come here. Do you remember the snake on the King Tut's hat looking like this?
That's crazy.
You remember it looking like this?
Uh-uh.
What?
What you guys saying, bro?
You remember it looking like that?
I see full picture.
Do you remember like that? That's King Tut's, like his mask, like his
That's
hat.
crazy.
You remember the snake tail going over his head?
How
The
hell did it-
vulture comes out of the forehead like the snake used to.
Seth said, "How the beep did it change?"
That's part of the Mandela effect. That's how it works. And it likes to, you know what's even crazier, guys? I love it when it changes and then it goes back to what it was. Like, oh, this is what we want to change to it. Nope, we're going to take it right back.
So it's not just King Tut. It's any
Yeah.
Egyptian god, goddess, king,
Crazy.
queen, whatever. They all have the snake going back over the head now.
That's
Wow.
so weird. All of them?
All the ones that I saw.
Michael Fontaine has a question for you in the chat. You might want to read it. He's got a question for you. You want to address it?
Walk softly. It was walk.
Oh, really? Okay.
He's saying it's speak softly now and carry a big stick.
No. Seriously? Okay.
I'm looking. So again, red means current reality. Teresa, can you talk about what you're seeing here so people can?
Well, it looks like Sandy has it in red to show that that's the way it is now, the current reality. And if you notice, it looks really weird. You can see how there's a vulture there and a snake. Am I looking at that right? I don't remember a vulture there. To me, it was just a snake, right?
That's
Yeah.
the old Mandela effect, Teresa.
Yeah. And if you look, it's coiling over the top of it, just like she said. And that's what the pictures are for, showing you how it is now. You can literally see it wrapping around. That's crazy. Absolutely not.
That is crazy.
Okay. All right, Brian. More? And yet more pictures. Hard to see them unless you zoom in, you know.
So that's
Yeah.
What's up with all those colors on the King Tut?
Yeah.
That's so weird.
Yep.
Sandy, are you there?
I am.
Okay, go ahead, Brian.
There's
Wow.
residue of the single snake.
Yeah,
Well,
single.
it's not residue. It is residue of a single snake, but it's more residue of it coming out of the forehead and not going over the back of the head.
Yeah.
Now the top, I will say the top left one has the vulture in it. So that's
Right, but it doesn't have the snake going over the head, and the eyes and eyebrows are black, not blue.
Yeah, I like the black better. The black liner.
This is all black lines, like I remember.
Me too. I'm curious to see the front of the Luxor here in Las Vegas, where I live at on the Strip. I don't know how it looks now. I don't know if you want to Google a picture of it. It's been a while since I go down to the Strip now. It's just too far for me to go.
There are a couple more changes, but I think that's more than enough for now. Or any of these changes for you too. So here's what it looks like.
Wow.
Absolutely ridiculous to me. Rainbow. I can't. It did not look like that for me.
Wow. And look at the chin too. That long thing. Beard. Yeah, it's curving.
Frank Nunez says, wait. Oh no, it was Ronaldo Vasquez. 2 snakes for me, one of them being a cobra. To be fair, the vulture is a vulture head on top of a snake body.
Oh, I see.
all right. So we move on to the next one.
Yeah, let's.
You guys notice his ears are pierced too? Did you notice that?
No, but he doesn't have as many as I do.
Yeah, I don't remember his ears pierced either.
Me either.
Me either.
That's a good find.
Yep.
We'll see what other changes happen.
Another change, Brian, that you can add to it, Sandy. All right. What are we moving on to next?
Let's talk about Lifesaver candy.
There you, Sandy.
Okay.
Jeff, would you like
Jeff,
to read
do you
this
want to
one?
read it?
Yeah,
Thank you.
you're welcome. Recently, Curiouser asked me if I remember Lifesavers soda. I previously covered the soda because I don't remember it either. However, looking at Lifesavers soda led us to a new question.
He's got to lower that music, Brian. You're going to get a copyright.
Please lower that music, bud.
Lifesavers candy came in a lot of flavors. The 5 flavors.
Can you read that?
I can't read that. Sorry.
Okay, I'll read it. Lifesaver candy came in a lot of flavors. The 5 flavor is the most recognizable, but I remember rolls of just cherry, butterscotch, cinnamon, tropical fruits, and of course all the mint flavors. But we found some flavors we have never heard of. We can't say this is Mandela timeline for sure, but we find these strange, so we thought we'd ask. Okay, you want to read that one, Jeff?
Yeah. Have you ever heard of Sonic the Hedgehog's Lifesavers?
No.
3. Sonic the Hedgehog 3.
Sonic the Hedgehog 3. Okay. Never heard of that.
And check out, Brian, can you zoom in on the top left picture?
Yeah.
Look how naked he looks.
Oh my goodness, see it? Whoa, that doesn't even look like him.
He is so naked there.
crazy, huh?
So in the chat, we have, I want to try Lifesaver soda. I know, me too. It's been discontinued since the 80s.
No
Virgo
way.
says never. They look tasty. Frank says no. I was a big Sonic fan too. Faith Hope says no. And Joe Bloor says no blue arms. Yeah, we know. We know. Michael Fontaine, you never answered my question in the chat. All right, go ahead, Jeff.
Okay. Or any of these flavors. Got to be honest, I would have liked to have tried root beer.
Iced tea with lemon, Lifesavers. Have you ever heard of that?
No.
Anybody?
No. I would have loved root beer.
Two.
Michael Fontaine, I'm going to cover that for you. So hush hush, okay? I'll cover it next week for you because that's awesome. Great find. Great find. Don't worry, I'm going to credit you.
I remember wintergreen, the window green. I remember that.
Yeah.
And the
Those were my
buttermilk.
favorite.
So, like, there's, I don't remember Cristo Mint. There's a lot of flavors here I don't remember. I'm going to have close-ups, Brian. You can go on.
Okay.
Go ahead, Jeff. There's more words. Can you read that? It's small.
It needs to be a little bit bigger. Whoa.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, if you can't see it, I can read it for you.
I can read it.
Okay.
But the weirdest flavors have got to be musk, what does that say?
Pepsin.
Pepsin, licorice, and clove Lifesavers. Have you ever heard of these?
No,
I don't even know what
yes, I have,
Pepsin
no.
flavor is. Does anyone know what Pepsin flavor
These-
is?
I never
What?
saw that word in my life, let alone the
No,
flavor.
me neither. But honestly, this might sound like it might be from another country or something. Maybe they marketed it
Nope.
in another country.
Nope, they were not. They were sold in the U.S.
And musk, that's just stupid. That sounds like cologne.
It does sound like cologne.
It is. It is. That's what. It's a. I would not ever want to taste musk.
No. I would want to try the clove ones, though.
Yeah, I like clove, like with the ham. I've smoked a clove cigarette before. They're tasty. They're sweet.
Yeah, I
So
smoke them
clove
all
might
the
be
time.
good, but Pepsin and musk, what?
No, that sounds gross. Wouldn't go near
Lions and
that.
tigers and bears, oh my. All right, here we go. Wizard of Oz.
That's awesome,
Teresa,
Joe.
you're up.
All right.
It's actually
You want
both
me
of
to
us.
read?
But I want Teresa. Oh, Teresa's not going to read?
Teresa, you're up. I think she's on mute.
Oh, I'm here. Oh, this is me? Okay, sorry. In January 2021, I covered a change to lyrics I found in Somewhere Over the Rainbow. And I believe a different word has changed, so I decided to ask you what your memory is for both words.
When Teresa says I, she means me.
Yeah. Okay, Brian.
Okay.
Now I'm going to explain really quick. The purple blank is mine. The aqua blank is Teresa. That's why I did it that way.
Yep.
Okay, Teresa.
Where troubles smell like lemon drops, blank, above the chimney, blank, that's where you'll find me. So you need to fill in the two blanks. What do you remember?
Lemon drops high above the chimney tops.
Same.
Okay, wait. I need to say something important. Pepsin probably would have tasted good because Reynaldo Vasquez says in the chat, Pepsin, what other word is in Pepsin? Pepsi is an old-fashioned flavor where Pepsi soda was made of. So Pepsi flavored Lifesavers. Thank you,
I would have
Renata.
liked
Sorry, go
those.
on. Yes, me too. I'm sorry to
Okay.
interrupt. Go ahead.
Okay. Go ahead. So fill in the blanks. What do you remember?
Oh, Brett.
Brian, what do you remember? Jeff, Sandy?
I remember High Above the Chimney Tops.
Same. High above the chimney tops.
Same.
Okay.
And in the chat, Eddie Von Keen says far and tops.
I remember
Frank,
way
wait a minute.
top.
Okay, Frank, I didn't want you to share yours because yours was different, Teresa.
Oh,
Yours is the
crap.
new one. It's okay. Doesn't matter. Frank Nunez says high above the chimney tops. Eddie Von Keen says Pepsin is like an antacid. Well, soda is sometimes used for acid, for the acid to relieve stomach indigestion.
Okay, good.
And I'm waiting for answers. There aren't any. There's only two. Faith Hope Love says high tops.
I don't remember
Anyone
that one.
else?
One's different than that.
Joe Bloor says what was watching the Heroes and Icons cable network, and they have to splice together two separate scenes from the original Star Trek TV series for Captain Kirk to say, "Beam me up, Scotty." So they went through the trouble of actually splicing two videos together to make him say it.
Wow. Wow, that's awesome.
Welcome, Joanna Burnt. She says, I hope I pronounced that right, says hi and tops. Preliminal says hi. Joe doesn't remember. That's quite okay. And Preliminal says chimney tops. All right, guys, we can go on.
All right, go ahead. I remember high above, but it's always been a way above.
So this is the rewind. This is what I covered back in 2019. It's a way above.
What did I remember?
Yeah, I remember we covered this at one point.
Yeah, I did cover this. I'm doing a rewind because Teresa, something else has changed for Teresa. So
Yep.
It's a way above. Not a single person said away. This is what Dorothy sings in The Wizard of Oz, the movie.
Okay.
Hey, John Nada, welcome. Hey, the one, welcome.
Wow, a lot of people.
Yeah, everybody's jumping in.
How many people, Brian?
This is
We got,
Teresa's.
I can't tell. Hang on.
33. 33.
Oh, my lucky numbers. 3.
Yep.
Okay, I can't tell. We'll look in a minute.
Okay.
Brian, I already told her it's 33.
Oh, 33. Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
My numbers.
Magic number.
Yep. Good number. Okay, we'll move on. Brian?
Teresa, you have to read this.
Oh, I remember above the chimney top, singular, but it's always been away above the chimney top. Is this your memory? I remember the singular, Brian.
Yeah, I remember high above.
Residue, too.
I remember tops, but I do not remember away. It was high for me.
Okay. I found
Jeff?
a few people singing it, but we can't play it because we'd get a copyright. I found 2 famous people singing top.
She did.
Yep.
You
Aretha
can tell
Franklin.
who they are.
Aretha Franklin was one, and Ariana Grande was the other.
So if you guys want to search out Somewhere Over the Rainbow with Ariana Grande or Aretha Franklin, you'll hear it like Teresa remembers it.
Let's changed again. Yep. And
so I put tops in red because Teresa doesn't remember tops.
Yeah, I remember top. And if you sing it, it kind of makes sense, though.
Well, if you're thinking about just her house alone.
Yeah, if you're referring to her top, her own house. Yeah. And there is residue, so.
And John Nada remembers way, but it's a way.
Hmm. Interesting.
Coral for Faith, Hope, Love.
He's listening to something.
Brian, Seth has got to lower that.
Says you gotta lower, bud.
We don't
Like, I
get
can make out entire sentences of what he's listening to.
You gotta lower it.
Tell me get copyright. You don't want to get that on your channel, Brian.
I mean, explain to him it's because you can get a copyright.
Yeah. You should know what that is, right?
Yeah.
It's not a good thing.
It's okay, the one. We're just we we're being funny. We're not offended. We're not upset. It was just like funny, so
What's
we
funny?
went with it.
What's funny?
The one says, "I'm sorry you saw that. Free minds are always seen as something outside of a person's belief, but they will never make him better than me or anyone else." I'm leaving the person's name out, I'm not going to say it, but they were wrong to do that. That's what the one says.
Who are you talking about?
The reason why I'm Shiva Diva.
Oh, does that have something to do with a particular other individual?
Yes, so I'm not saying their name. I don't want to say it.
I think I know who you're talking about. Yes. Yeah, don't let it bother you. Not worth it.
It doesn't bother me that we were making fun of it.
Oh, okay. Okay, I'm with you. I knew you're talking about.
Yes, John Nada. Brian's son is watching TV in the background. That's why I have to keep telling him to lower it. Because the
Brian,
music
son was
gets in
saying that
trouble.
they didn't know that.
There is a lot of residue for top, like Teresa remembers. I will say that.
Yeah. All right. That was a good one.
Thank you. I know it's a small little detail, but and the Mandela's the Mandela, no matter if it's just one little thing, right, Sandy?
Yeah.
Dan doesn't like doing like one little letter, but it's still a Mandela, right, Sandy?
Yes, Sandy.
Yes.
Sandy, what was the one that I brought to your attention?
Your son said it wasn't a Mandela.
Oh, really? What was it?
The lightsaber looking white.
Yeah, the lightsaber is looking white in Star Wars.
Changing colors or something.
It's supposed to be blue, right?
Yeah, Brian, do you want to read this?
That looks so good.
The jingle for Popeyes chicken has 100% changed for me. Yeah.
The lightsaber didn't change.
The lightsaber was blue.
No, it was blue. It's still blue.
Okay. So
it was the lighting.
The lighting.
Yeah, he said it's just the lighting because it still looks blue in a lot of pictures. It's just that the light inside the lightsaber is white and it glows blue. But I did find some images where it just looks straight up white.
Okay, I remember Love That Chicken from Popeyes.
Okay, the question is, love that chicken blank Popeyes. What do you guys remember?
Okay, what do you
Joe
guys
Bloor
remember?
says at, Frank Nunez says from, Shelby Norwood says from, John Nada has no idea, and that's okay. I see ads for this all the time, probably because Teresa tells me that she goes to Popeyes, and YouTube picks up on that.
Sandy, I keep having to go with this one. It's driving me crazy.
Yeah.
You know, it sounds good both ways. You know?
A specific screen revolution.
Oh, that's sad. I'm so sorry, the one.
Screen coloring.
What do you guys remember?
It's
Love the
more of a
chicken.
commercial. It's a jingle. It's every commercial you see, they sing this. In every single commercial. They sing "Love That Chicken" blank Popeyes. Burgos is guessing from,
From for me.
and it's at for me. All right, we can go on, Ryan. And Teresa's having a duel.
So what is it now?
It's from.
I remember from.
I remember at. Always been at for me. But it's always been from. You know I'm right. Right? Brian, are you there?
Did we lose him?
He's not answering me. I don't know if he's there or not.
Uh-oh. Brian! Did he have to mute himself for a second?
He's not muted. No, he's gone.
Uh-oh. We lost him.
Yeah, we lost him.
Can we talk about anything?
I'm with you on that, Burgos. I had to go back and change it because I saw that the graphics didn't have it, and I had to go and fix my words. 100% with you on that. I remember the apostrophe.
I hope his computer didn't crash.
No problem, no one. Thank you for being here. Have a great night.
Okay.
There he is.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Sorry, we had technical difficulty. I lost the album for a minute. I lost you guys.
Uh-oh.
It's okay.
You were doing Popeye.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, Sandy. So you're remembering at Popeyes? Is that correct?
Yes. And
I was
there's
asking
residue.
Jeff. I was asking Jeff what he remembers.
And you need to
From.
present again.
What about you, Teresa? What about you? What do you remember?
Duel.
She's a dual memory.
Okay.
So this is the current reality of from.
Hey,
really
Sandy.
And here's at. Yes, at.
Tina remembers at, like you.
Yes, and Tina remembers that. And when I asked Hebrew, him and his wife remember it differently as well.
I said, what do you remember? Love that chicken blank Popeyes. Love that chicken blank Popeyes. Love that chicken at or from? Seth, you tired?
Frank Nunez, I don't think it's regional. I live in Philly. Teresa's in Las Vegas, and we both have them. It might just be if you're not near a city, you don't have it. I don't know. I am jealous of you, John Nada. You have independent fried chicken places. And I miss Church's. Church's is in Jersey, but it's not here. But there's a ton of residue of at. Got a craving for Cajun? New Orleans style fried chicken, Cajun batter fries, and buttermilk biscuits. Love that chicken at Popeyes.
That's crazy.
Yeah, a lot of people remember at like I do. Michael Fontaine has them in Buffalo. Brian, do you remember Popeyes having an apostrophe? Burgos really remembers an apostrophe.
I do.
I remember
Yeah.
it too.
I do too.
I didn't even know it was gone till now.
I didn't
It
know
was
it was
weird.
gone until I went to put the presentation together and had to change all my words because I had apostrophes in there.
Well, I thought it was the reason why because I thought it was named after Popeye the Sailor, but it turns out it's like Popeye's like your eyes are popping because it's so hot. That's
I didn't
basically
know
what
that
it is.
either.
I didn't know that either.
Well, I don't know if
Oh,
that's
the
a
bottom
fact,
right
but
hand corner, Brian. People working at Popeyes who don't know their own jingle.
oh my goodness, that's weird.
Mm-hmm.
There's like you were saying, there's definitely a lot of residue here for it, so pretty convincing.
And I agree, John Nada. Coles looks weird with the apostrophe that looks like a hot air balloon. Completely agree.
It does.
It totally does. Your mom's even screaming, Popeyes with an apostrophe, not Popeyes without. Oh, wait, he said the left bottom one had an apostrophe. If you go back to it.
Yeah, it did. The left bottom one did.
Guys, if you want to just hit rewind on the stream for a second.
All right, there we go. Next one.
All right. So the
You guys
Uncle
see that?
Sam, yes. The
What's
Uncle
that?
Sam cuss. Huh?
What'd you say about me?
Nothing. He asked if we could see.
Oh, okay.
The Uncle Sam costume worn by Apollo Creed in Rocky IV, as well. Well, it didn't change for me in the first Rocky, but you'll see. Has changed for me, and I want to know if it's changed for you too. 1, 2, 3, 4. You are naming 2 numbers, not 1. 2 numbers.
Oh,
Okay?
2.
2 of these hats are worn by Apollo Creed. One in the original Rocky, and the other in Rocky IV. Which 2 hats do you remember seeing him wear? So answer, give me 2 numbers in the chat. If you only saw one movie, you can just give 1 number, obviously. And if you don't know, you don't know. It's all good. If you never saw it, you don't know, it's fine. So 1, 2, 3, or 4, I need 2 numbers if you know it. Virgo says 2 and 4. The only answer we got so far. Jeff, Teresa, Brian, you guys want to chime in?
3 and 4.
I'm gonna
3
say
and 4
3.
for Jeff.
3 and 2. 2 and 3. I mean,
2 and 3 for Brian. 2 and 4 for Shelby.
3 and 4. 3 for me. Looks normal.
For both? Or you remember him wearing the same hat twice? Or you only remember 3?
I only remember 3. 4 looks weird with that weird stuff underneath the bottom.
So
3.
Teresa's a 3. I'm a 3 and 4. Frank Nunez is a 2 and 3. Joanna Burnt is definitely 3 and 4. Joe Bloor, 3 and 4 in my past. Can't recall. Got it. John Nada, can't remember. It's okay. Reynaldo Vasquez says 4 for me. Preliminal says 5. 3 with a
actually,
white
you know
lid
what,
section.
Jeff? I'm thinking. I'm looking at it again, and I swear I didn't look it up or anything. I think it is 3 and 4.
You remember 3 and 4, Brian? I believe that you didn't look
Yeah.
it up. I do believe you that you did not look it up.
No, I didn't look it up.
Your mother is a 3. Preliminal is 3 with a white lid instead of blue. Faith, Hope, Love is a 4. All right, Brian, we can go on. I will say that Burgos and Shelby have the current memory. I remember number 4, the hat with the striped brim in the original film. But in Rocky 4, I remember hat number 3. So the left is an image of him in Rocky, and the one on the right is what I drew. I drew all those hats. The one on the right is my drawing, which is my memory of Rocky 4. So 3 and 4 for me. Go ahead, Brian. I do not have any memory of number 2 with the blue band of stars halfway up the hat with stripes below. Do you? Because his hat is 2 now in Rocky 4, and I do not remember that. I know 2 of you have the current memory, but I do not remember this at all.
Me either. And that's the one I've watched over and over again. I would definitely have remembered that one.
Same. I was the oldest for this one, too. I saw this one in the theater. Welcome,
So did
Grand
I.
Bargains. Sorry, what'd you say, Jeff?
I said so did I. I saw it in the theaters.
Yep. Thank you, Shelby. Yeah, it's not like freehanded. I drew that in a graphics app. Like I did draw it freehand, but in a graphics app where I could edit my my mess ups. Thank you, Anita. Frank Nunez says, I saw it recently, so it looks right. And John Nana says, I think I only saw part 3. And Joanna just says, what? Brian, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
You can go on.
Okay.
Usually, the artist Family Guy remember things the way we do. Not this time, though. They actually remember the band of stars up higher. And there's something else wrong with this picture, which we're going to talk about next. Go ahead, Brian. Stranger still, some artists that remember number 2 remember it slightly different with blue and white stripes on the bottom. You see that? How it's like instead of the red at the bottom, they remember blue at the bottom. And the one on the left, the star pattern, is completely wrong. Go ahead, Brian. Even stranger still, this looks like an actual still from the movie with blue stripes. You can see the red stripe on the side, blue stripes in the front. Every other photo movie still shows them all red. I have no idea what to make of this, do you? Like, I have no idea how this exists. Maybe it's a realistic painting. I don't know. But I thought maybe that's the back of the hat. Like, you know, like maybe in the middle of filming they say cut. He took the hat off, put it back on, and put it on backwards. And maybe the blue stripes are in the back. But no, in the back they're red as well. So I have no idea how there's a photo with blue stripes in the front. I have to agree with that, Shelby. Mandela manipulation. Messing with our heads.
Sandy, can you please go to the private chat?
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, Brian. Well, yeah, Brian, when we're done this, cover anything that's Teresa's first, okay?
Okay. No problem.
All right. Also, I recently talked about having no memory of gold fringe on the U.S. flag. In case you missed that, in my past, the official U.S. flag never had gold fringe. But now, there is gold fringe around flags, especially around presidents like Nixon, Kennedy, Obama, Trump. You'll see in the background the U.S. flag with gold fringe. It was only on like state flags and stuff for me. I recently covered that. And just like that flag, I don't remember the gold fringe on his sleeves, do you? It's like bright and clear as day, bouncing around and sparkling. There's no way we would have missed it. And now he has gold fringe just like the American flag does. Jeff, do you remember this?
No, not at all. That looks crazy.
Yeah,
Teresa, Brian?
I don't remember that.
No, I don't.
And Frank Nunez says gold fringe only in courtrooms. Yeah, because usually it's on the state flag. I don't remember it on the U.S. flag. John Nada said Admiralty, I thought.
Yeah. I know it's hard to believe that the guy who played Ivan Drago is the same guy who played He-Man in the Masters of the Universe.
Shelby says, no, don't recall the fringe great eye. Thank you. When things bother me, they just, I see them because they bother me. It bothers me. It's okay, right?
Yeah, the hat looks weird.
It does look weird. Even his costume in the original 1976 film has the fringe. And I don't remember this. Except it looks silver here. That could just be because it's an old film, but that looks silver to me, not gold. Either way, I don't remember the fringe. This image, which I tried my best to make it easy for you to see, this drawing that someone did has no fringe, like I remember. It's just the striped sleeve. And also the blue stripes in the hat, which is insane. So here is some residue of a normal Uncle Sam hat. The top left one's reaching a bit, but it is supposed to be Rocky IV. They used Uncle Sam, so it may not be a great residue, but the one in the middle on the right, that is definitely Apollo Creed with a regular Uncle Sam hat like I remember. Yeah, Brian. Is that it? Oh, no.
I think there's a few more.
Yeah. So this is showing, the bottom left is no fringe. The top is a normal Uncle Sam hat. He's obviously just like Apollo Creed.
Mm-hmm.
And the right is showing you the fringe is there in a much clearer picture in the first one. And I think it is silver. Is that the last one?
Yep.
We lost Sandy.
Uh-oh, we lost Sandy. All right.
Yep.
We need to do one that's Teresa's right now. So let me see, which one can we do?
Okay, I'm ready. Go ahead, Brian.
All right.
Okay, so yeah,
Hey.
anything that you see with Teresa's name on it, cover it first, Brian.
Yeah, please. How do you remember court cases being written? Depp, blank, Heard, Roe, blank, Wade.
I just gave recent examples.
Was it V or versus?
There we go.
What do you guys remember? Now, I'm not talking about what you heard recently. What do you remember?
This one really blew my mind. Yeah.
Versus.
So Joanna Burnt says versus. Frank says the. So we already have two answers in the chat.
Wow. This one's messing with my head.
Jeff, Brian, what do you remember?
Versus.
Ditto.
I remember originally, like in the 80s, it was verses, but that changed somehow in the 90s.
I always remember verses. I don't remember anything else, which is
Now,
blowing.
for me, it was always verses. And I'd say in the last 4 years or so, I've been hearing V. And I thought they changed it, is what I thought it was. But Shelby remembers verses. Eddie Van Keen is V. Preliminal is verses. Reynaldo always verses. Joe Bloor verses. Eddie says V, period. Faith Hope Love was verses. They say V now. Hey, Philo.
Oh, wow.
Philo, do you remember V or verses in court cases? John Otis says Huh?
Oh, I was looking at Burgos's.
Oh. John Otis says, I hear V, but I don't read it often, so it could be verses in print. Burgos says verses. I can't even talk. Philo Fire has seen it both ways. Preliminal says, I remember both now that you mention it. Reynaldo Vasquez says, like in boxing matches. Anita says verses. Okay, Brian, we can go on.
Yeah, hold on. All right. Okay. It's not always been V, not VS.
No, it's always been V, not VS. You said it's not always. It's always been V.
Sandy has to agree with me. To agree with me on this one. It was always versus, but I have heard Sandy's heard the current reality so much recently that she hears it as V too. But my memories, Teresa, I remember. Oh, you?
I'm saying, even though I've heard V recently, over and over and over again, my memory is still verses. Like you.
Yeah, I've never heard of V. That one looks weird to me. Always verses for me. Yeah, when I saw that, when they did the whole thing on TV about all this stuff, I'm like, what do you mean a V? I don't remember that.
Always, to reiterate, it has always, for hundreds of years, been V. And I'm going to show you. So go ahead, Brian.
But I don't remember that.
I don't either.
Crazy. All right, go ahead, Brian. Okay. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Sorry.
Oh, Brian walked away.
My phone is down to like 6%.
Oh no, mine's
not good.
John Boyd as Justice Warren E. Berger says It says Roe v. Wade. I guess many of you would either have the current memory or have a dual memory as well, since Roe v. Wade has been in the news so much this past month. That's what all I've been seeing. I'm like, nope. Yelling at the screen. There is a lot of residue for verses, including the TV movie Roe versus Wade. If you look up, you see the picture. Great find looking at that picture, Sandy.
Mm-hmm.
But actually, in court cases going back through history, it's always been V. Is this your memory, or do you remember it like we do?
Now I'm going to show you famous cases throughout history, starting with the current reality of Brown v. Board in 1954 and Plessy v. Ferguson, 1896. Yeah, Brian. Here's Roe v. Wade, Plessy v. Ferguson. The sign, the stone sign outside the historic site. Brown v. Board of Education, National Historic Site.
Thank you, Preliminal. Preliminal said good find.
Yeah, it is a great find. So here's some residue.
I saw it and I was like, something's off about that. You know what I mean? I'm looking at it like, no, that was been versus for me. And I was like, I got to tell Sandy this one.
So here's Brown versus Board of Education before Brian flips the slide, Teresa.
Huh?
This is residue of Brown versus Board of Education.
Oh, wow. Yeah, see the verses. Yep. Good residue, Sandy. Thanks.
This is residue of Plessy
More
versus
verses.
Ferguson. Oh, wait. Why is that green? That one shouldn't
Ooh,
be there.
yeah, look at that in the bottom.
That
Right-hand
didn't
bottom.
change. That didn't change. That just shouldn't be there. I forgot to swap a photo out.
Oops.
But hey, you can see on the plaque, it's a V. So that's good.
Yeah. Go ahead, Brian.
John Notter remembers Brown versus Board of Education.
Roe versus Wade and the U.S. abortion laws. Brown versus Board of Ed, which education, I believe. 65-year anniversary. So there is a lot of residue for verses.
There's a ton of residue.
Yeah. And for me, Sandy, Roe versus Wade has always been that way for me, as long as I can remember. And now it says Roe v. Wade. If you've been seeing it all over the news, everywhere, social media, Twitter, everywhere, Facebook. Now it's the V.
No.
Yeah. I was like, no. It just got my attention right away. And I said, I got to show this to Sandy. Right, Sandy?
Yeah.
I
Frank
was like,
Duke
no.
says in our past, V did not stand for verses. VS period did. That's what we're saying.
Yeah.
In our past, verses was VS period, not V.
Yet in a minute he says Terry versus Ohio. Yep, you're right.
And they're all V now. Every court case ever is V now. Depp v. Heard.
I only
It's
remember
not even
hearing
like
the
the Supreme
V.
Court.
I only remember hearing the V recently.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was always verses for me, and then I started hearing V, and I thought it was just like a new fancy way of saying it. I didn't know it's
Same.
always supposedly been that way.
Oh, yeah. Virgo said Larry Flint versus whatever. Larry Flint.
Oh, let me check the movie. The People versus Harry. Well, wait a minute, that's the People. Is that how the court case was? Let me look.
What's it say, Sandy?
I'm looking.
Okay. I'm curious to see what it says.
Okay, so the movie is versus. The
Wow.
movie is versus. I gotta say court case because it's pulling up the movie.
You want to send it to Brian to show him, or you want Brian just to Google it?
No, do not Google it, Brian. I just found the Mandela effect. Do not Google. I don't want this on the screen.
You talking about the spelling?
Yeah.
That's an old one.
It's old?
Yeah, it is. Trust me.
Who covered it?
Yes, it is. I think
Okay,
Dan did
here's
it.
why I couldn't find it. It was Petitioners v.
Yeah. Trust me, Sandy. It's an old.
Jerry Falwell v. Larry Flint v.
Yeah, it's Sandy. It's been posted in my group several times. Trust me on
Oh,
that
wow.
one. And I even posted it. I remember posting, yeah. And I found a lot of residue. Yeah, that one's been covered. Trust me on this.
Like I said, that's a V now.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, wait, you're talking about Larry Flint.
I was talking about the spelling of the last name.
I'm not talking about Larry Flint.
Oh, you're talking about the V?
No, I'm talking about something else. We'll just leave it at that, and I'll tell you about it later.
You can tell me. Okay. All right. All right. Well.
Okay, next one. This one, Teresa and Sandy.
Teresa.
One. Yes, thank you. Brian, you're going to freak out on this one. This one I found not too long ago. I have two things that I want to ask you. The first question is, please spell the name of the game pictured above. You see that game? How do you spell it? Can I give a hint what it starts with?
You don't need to. Filer says Fooseball question mark.
Whoa.
Frank Nunez says Foozball.
Okay. Anybody else? How do you remember?
How do you remember foosball? How do you spell foosball?
John Nada says Foosball.
Seth says Foose.
Wow. Hey, Sandy, I'm not alone on this one, am I?
No, Michael Fontaine says Foose.
Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
not alone.
Eddie
Brian,
Von Keen is Foosb.
I think they took away the E.
that's just why it tripped me out. And guess what? Plenty of residue. Plenty.
Joanna remembers an E.
Mm-hmm.
Goddess Four Winds, welcome. Remembers an E, but 2 words.
Oh,
And I have
wow.
residue of that too.
Cool. Anybody else?
Adam for Christ is wondering with the E. So I'm not sure if that's what he remembers or if he's not sure. But let's go.
I remember the spelling as Foose, ball, but it's always been spelled foosball. Do you remember it being spelled with an E? And by the way, when I was really young, I used to play it on a military base, and I was really good at it. So my memory was foosball with an E.
Welcome Kimberly Patrick. She remembers an E.
Yep. I was really good at this game, too, and I beat some guys, big guys. I'm proud of that, too.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I was really good at this game.
See, with the E, I would pronounce it foosball because loose, foos.
Foosball.
So here's some residue of foosball.
See, there you go. For me, it's foosball. That's how I
No, it
pronounce
is foosball. I'm saying if I had seen it spelled like that, I would pronounce it foosball because
Right?
that's how you pronounce loose.
For me, I pronounce it foosball with the E.
Right, I get that. And
Yeah.
I know.
And
These
look at all the residue, guys.
Yeah, these were basically the original, like before arcades. People would play
Jeff.
foosball and pool and billiards and stuff like that.
Yep.
Jeff, what do you remember? You didn't chime in.
I don't remember it with the E. I remember it the current way.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah.
wow. Interesting. I'm curious to know, Sandy, if Dan happens to cover this one, what his current memory is. I'm just curious. You know what I mean?
Yeah, here's a where it's spelled with 2 words, like Kimberly. No, not Kimberly. Who remembered the 2 words? Oh, Goddess Four Winds.
Wow, look at that. It's both ways there.
Yep, and it's 2 words there instead of 1, like
Yeah.
she remembers.
Yep, foosball.
Okay, this might. I don't know if you have another question or if it's me that's coming up. There's a lot of residue, guys.
Totu. Totu is the king of foosball. Totu. It's all over the place. Look at advertisements for come play foosball at our pool hall.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're advertising it. And that's how they spell it. They would know their machines are there. Play it, you know. Look
I
at
agree, Goddess Four Winds. I didn't cover it because no one agreed with me. But I don't remember Sports Center being 1 word. I remember Sports Center. And the old logo was 2 words, then they changed it to 1 back in the late 1970s. I don't remember it 1 word.
I like the funny ones, the top 2 there at the top.
Yeah. There's a handheld game
You guys
with it written on the
notice that
packaging.
Yeah, I see that. That looks like something you'd find at Dollar General or something.
Yeah, and they
Yeah.
remember like me. See?
You guys
Yeah.
notice a lot of Adam Sandler's movies are on Netflix now?
Oh, they are?
Yeah.
Oh, I love his movie.
Me too.
You
I
don't
love
sound like
Happy
you're
Gilmore.
crashing anymore.
Happy Gilmore is by far probably one of my favorite ones. That one and Waterboy.
Same.
Sandy, I'm trying to drink a lot of A&W. I'm trying, but I'm losing.
Teresa, you got another question?
The second question from me is, what decade do you remember foosball? Sandy spelled it wrong. Being invented.
No, I spelled the way I remember it. Go on.
You could have changed it for me. Your best guess is fine too. What decade do you remember this being invented?
Again, best guess is fine.
For
I
me,
So John Knott is stating
1960s?
too.
70s for me, 70s.
1970s.
Yeah, because I remember being really young, being like, like a teenager, like really young teenager. And that's when I started playing and started getting really good. About 9, 10, 11, about 12 years old, somewhere in between is where I was really good at this game. And that's like early 70s. 76, I was 12. So yeah, early 70s for me.
What about you, Jeff?
Yep. Yeah. Yeah, me too, John. I'm fighting it right now. Like literally, I'm gulping down this A&W root beer, but I'm losing. All right. What do you guys think, Jeff?
I'm waiting for Jeff to answer.
Probably the 70s.
Yeah, I'm with you, Brian.
70s?
70s. Sandy.
I'm with John Nada, the 60s. Joe Bloor says says 1930. Eddie Von Keen says 1920. Violet Fowler says 70s. It was big, I think. Michael Fontaine says 1940s. Joanna Burnt says, I'm guessing 70s.
Yeah, a lot of people remember 70s. It was a big deal. You go in, and there's like plenty of them everywhere, and you go in there, and I even played that shuffle game, the air hockey. Remember that? With the little round thing? Play that too.
John Nada says he's been up since 2:30 a.m. That's where I was earlier. I slept until 8 p.m. before the show because I was up 26 hours before the show. So
get your rest, Nada. Make sure you get some sleep.
Kimberly is guessing 70s.
Yep.
All right, Teresa, don't forget to read the top this time.
Okay. We would have guessed the foosball was invented in the 1960s or 70s, but it was actually invented in Britain in 1923. Wow, that one really shocked me. Sandy, what does that say in red?
It's just showing you November 1st, 1923. You can just read the bottom.
However, it wasn't brought to the USA until the 1950s, and its peak popularity was in the 1970s. Yep, there you go. We find it a bit odd that it took over 20 years for the game to gain popularity.
So it was in the U.S. from the 1950s, but it didn't become popular until the 1970s.
Yeah.
That's
and
weird.
It was everywhere. I remember I loved playing the game. It was fun. Mm-hmm.
That's weird that it would take 20 years.
Exactly. What was it doing? Just sit in a building somewhere, or you know what I mean?
Yeah, that doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
Yeah. As a side note, Wikipedia claims it was invented in 1937. 14 years later in Madrid, I'm inclined to believe the Smithsonian over Wiki, but I wanted to mention this just in case.
So Wikipedia, which is just like you and I can go in and edit it, so take it with a grain of salt. They say 1937, but the Smithsonian is the one that said a date, November 1st, 1923. I'm going to go with the Smithsonian and say it was invented November 1st, 1923.
Pretty accurate. Their history. Really accurate. That's crazy. That's crazy. While researching this for me, Sandy came across something weird. I can't say this is an ME, but for sure I have honestly never heard of this. So I'm asking you, Brian, do you know foosball by any other name or nickname?
And stay here, Brian. Not table soccer, an actual nickname. Do you know it by any name or nickname?
No.
That's what I'm asking. Brian, Jeff?
No, for me, Sandy.
No.
No.
No. Nope, nope, nope.
Anyone in the chat?
That's the only name that I know.
I know. I'm waiting for the chat, Brian.
Okay, let's see what they say.
Eddie's
Anybody?
guessing fussball or football? No. Philo says table. Okay, never mind.
Yeah, Final Fire. I used to play air hockey too. I was pretty good at that. I was better at foosball.
I loved air hockey. And when my parents split up and we moved to an apartment building, they had a game room with air hockey. We were down there all the time. We loved it.
Very addicting. Really
Shelby
good.
says no.
Mm-mm.
Well, first time I ever heard about foosball or seen it was in the movie Karate Kid.
Yeah. Was that in the 70s?
No, it
That
was
was
80.
80s, 1983.
Oh, 83. Yeah.
84. It was 84.
Yeah, 70s for me.
No, not table hockey. That's a common nickname. Javier says I don't. Welcome, Javier. All right, we can go on. So far, it's all no's in the chat, or what I remember it as. So I have heard. Okay, go ahead, Teresa.
Oops, sorry. I have seen it referred to as a tabletop soccer or football game, but Brian? Let's foos. It's only been foosball for me. I've never heard of it referred to or seen it written as just foos. Have you? Andy, that looks funny.
It's going to look funnier when you see the residue of current reality. Have you guys ever heard of it just referred to as foos? Let's go foos. Let's go play foos.
No way.
Foos. 50-cent foos. No. Never.
No
Foos
way.
Juice.
I mean,
nope.
I kept seeing foos over and over and over. This is the foos 200. Like, no.
No, never in my lifetime. No, nope.
No.
Everywhere. You think I'd remember
Tyler
that?
says, I pity the foo.
That's crazy.
There's even a movie called Foos, History of American Football.
No.
Table soccer in parentheses.
That's brand new. That's crazy.
We talked about that.
If you're
the
top ones, it says Kevin Pan Foos analysis. Underneath it says totally rad analysis of foosball games at the office. They're definitely referring to foosball when they say foos at the top.
It must be like a nickname or something. I don't know.
Right, but I've never heard it ever. And it's been on signage and everything. A movie. Never heard it referred to as foos.
Nope.
Me either.
Oh, God.
Does she have any other folders, Brian?
Any more, Brian? Because I am going to go to bed. I'm sorry. I'm
Teresa's work in the morning.
Yeah, I got to work in the morning, and I was out in the heat all day yesterday at a yard sale. I did good. But I was out sunburn, and the sunburn has been making me really tired. Yeah, my chest under my neck got really sunburned, my arms and a little bit on my face. But yeah, the heat really got to me and wore me out. Yeah, but yeah, I apologize, guys. I'm gonna hit the sack, but do I have? Yeah,
Teresa.
Cool. So I'm gonna apologize, and I'm gonna
Teresa,
say, huh?
there's something I
What?
forgot to tell you. Before you
Uh-oh.
like really scrub your hair in the shower, make sure you didn't burn your scalp.
Oh, what do you say that? You think I got a sunburn on my scalp?
Yeah, you could.
I didn't know that. You can get a sunburn on your head.
Yeah, you
All
can.
of your skin can burn.
I'd never heard of that, getting a scalp burn.
It's happened to me before.
How would I know it, though? I mean, what do I do? Just
Well,
look?
you part your hair and you see if it's red or if it's white.
Or if you get in the shower and it
You
hurts.
see, you get it, or blue? Red, white, and blue. Never mind.
Jeff, do you want to
That,
read one?
that was a
Brian?
joke. Get it,
Yeah.
red, white, or blue.
Oh,
You got
Teresa,
it,
good night.
Teresa.
I hope you sleep well.
Yeah, you can tell I'm tired. I'm acting stupid.
Thanks for coming on. I mean,
Good night.
Good night, Teresa.
Good night, Teresa.
Good night, everyone, and you guys, everybody have great rest of the weekend, whatever's left of it.
You too.
Okay. All right. Good night, everyone. Thank you all
Good
for
night.
coming. Good night. I'm heading to bed.
Good night, Teresa.
Night, Teresa.
Go ahead, Jeff.
All right. I could be completely wrong on this one, but I'm 100% honest that I've never heard of things I'm about to ask you about from the 80s.
Now, before we go further, Brian, you need to present this one with sound.
Okay. What kind of sound?
There's going to be a video clip towards the end.
Question 1. Besides breakdancing, do you know any other names for this form of dance?
Brian, Jeff, do you know any other names for this form of dance?
No.
No.
Chat? Waiting on the chat. Oh, good night, Javier. Javier's leaving too.
Hey Seth, you know any other names for breakdancing?
Philo Fire says Boogaloo. That's not what I'm looking for, but yes, that is another name that I'd never seen before, but it was only on one thing, so I didn't include it.
That was part of a movie
Poppin',
title.
yeah, Poppin' Lockin' is, I would say, a name of, I would say a nickname. There we go. Philo Fire found it. All right, we can go on, Brian.
What's it called?
Breakin'. Yeah, Jeff.
I have only known this as breakdancing, but officially it's called breakin'. I've never heard it called this in my life.
Officially, it's called breakin'. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Not breakdancing. Breakin' is the official name of this dance. I've never heard of it.
It looks like breaking. Looks like
I've heard
breaking.
breakin', but I've never heard it as the official name.
Hmm. I've never even heard it. Period. Oh, so here, this isn't the word. In the middle, it says the correct term is breakin'. People who do it are b-boys and b-girls. The term break dancing has to be thrown out of the dance vocabulary. Breaking or b-boying is generally misconstrued or incorrectly termed as breakdancing.
No way. That's crazy.
And breaking is everywhere, and I've never heard of it.
Breakdancing was always like the main name for it. That's
Correct.
weird.
That's what I remember.
Yeah.
Me too.
Question 2. Do you remember pinball machine arcades and Pac-Man being age restricted and banned by cities?
No.
So, yes or no
No.
in the chat, guys. Waiting for answers in the chat, Brian. Yes or no? Philo is a no. Goddess Four Winds is a nope. Reynaldo Vasquez is a yes. Nope for Javier. Mandela FX Watchdog, welcome, says no. Preliminal says no. Adam for Christ says no. Oh, welcome, Adam for Christ. I never said welcome when you got here. I'm sorry. Michael Fontaine says some games. Burgos says nope. Joanna says no. No, not a. It has nothing to do with like a Playboy one or anything. There's nothing special. Frank Nunez says I was 3 in '89, so I don't know. That's okay. Reynaldo says, but not in Puerto Rico. Faith Hope Love says yes, some. Preliminal says age restricted. Why? Well, we're gonna get into that. Joe Bloor says no. All right, Brian, you can go on. Can you read that, Jeff?
Yeah. Well, actually, I need it a little bigger. Sorry. This is absolutely true and totally news to me. In some cities, arcades were restricted with laws that mirror laws today that prevent the sale of alcohol and tobacco near schools.
Now, can you zoom in on those pictures, Brian? Show them. Like there's a father playing with his son at an arcade game, and they're literally with the cops destroying pinball machines.
Wow. What in the world?
Yeah, I don't remember that.
Me
I don't
either.
remember ever hearing about this. I
No,
mean, we're burned
why
alive
would they
then,
destroy it?
but the video clip is going to explain this a lot better. So now we're going to mute Jeff so we can play the clip.
Playing this game so much that many towns across the U.S. passed statutes or regulations to restrict the games. Des Plaines, Illinois banned people under the age of 21 from playing the game unless they were accompanied by their parents. Marshfield, Massachusetts banned the video game outright. Other towns and cities issued licensing and zoning to restrict arcades from selling food or being too close to a school. Parents became worried about kids being consumed with the game and not focusing on studies. This is a very similar thought process to what many parents think about kids with tablets and phones. And 70s kids don't judge too quickly. This also happened in many places across the U.S. with pinball machines.
Did you guys notice the broken logo on Pac-Man?
Yeah.
Yes, we've covered that. Hey, Mustard Seed of Faith, welcome. So, I'm really quick. I'm going to say more than what was said. So, apparently there was like a pinball prohibition back in the day, and they destroyed all the pinball machines. There was no, just because kids were doing it too much. Same thing with Pac-Man. When the Pac-Man craze happened, apparently cities throughout the United States banned Pac-Man or put age restrictions on it, saying you had to be 21 to play. Arcades couldn't open around a school. I've never heard of any of this.
Me either.
So that's what I'm
Yeah,
asking. Have you heard of it?
I've never heard of that.
No way.
Mm-mm. Not in my
So
past.
what would you call this one? This folder? What would you call it, Sandy?
A change to our history timeline.
Yep.
Good find.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And let's
I
talk
would
about
double
Son
check
of
that
Man.
preliminal.
The painting, The Son of Man.
Yes. Mine or Curious's. This one's mine. Okay. So I presented the original changes I found with this painting, Son of Man, on March 23rd, 2019. The changes that I discussed included the pile of leaves on top of the apple that I do not remember. But what I really did not remember when I covered it back then was seeing his left eye visible. His entire face was covered in my past. It's not on my screen yet. But recently, Curiouser found some changes that made me look at the painting again, and I was completely shocked to see that you can now see both of his eyes and the shape of his mouth poking out from behind the apple. Eddie thought it was a pear. Some people remember the pear, believe it or not. My conclusion, the apple is shrinking, and interpretations of the painting are showing these changes as well. Like, you never knew what the guy's face looked like. Now there's drawings with the face, artwork with the face, small apples showing the face. Even Pokemon, you can see the two eyes.
Yes, I don't remember four leaves like that.
Yeah, I've already covered that. Yep. I remember 0 or 1 leaf, and that is it. I have like a dual memory of 0 and 1. The only residue I have is apples covering the face like I remember it. And these really bother me because I know it's changed, because I covered it before, and it wasn't like that. It's one of the ones that I'm just like, I can't. And here's residue of the whole face being covered. Even smaller apples, and they're still not drawing features on the face, because there was no features on the face. It was covered.
I've never seen this painting until you showed it last time on Mandela Monday.
I believe you. I went to art school. I've seen a lot of paintings that a lot of people haven't seen. But this is pretty famous. Agreed.
Let's talk about these bullet-shaped towers.
Okay. Why don't you read, Brian? This one's Curiousers.
Okay, recently Curiouser came across these little bullet towers that we've never seen before. And while they may all be similar in size and shape, these buildings have different purposes. Radkin Tower is an Islamic astronomical tower built nearly 800 years ago. It has 12 columns marking each month of the calendar and is said to be able to predict the solstices, leap years, and the seasons. See, it's shaped like a bullet. Tugril Tower is the tomb of Seljuk ruler Tugril, who died in 1063. This dome once had a conical cap that collapsed in an earthquake. That's what it looks like. Lajim Tower, built in an old Iranian architecture, is the memorial building of a Tabarstani king. Mawiya Mosque, or the Great Mosque of Samarra in Iraq, was built in 851. But it was badly damaged in the Iraqi war. The mosque is now a historical tourist attraction, and it was added as a what, Sandy? An UNESCO World Heritage Site?
UNESCO World
UNESCO.
Heritage Site.
Kind of looks like a stairway to heaven. This is an ancient refrigerator, the ice house of Abaraka in Yazd, Iran. This adobe hut has a special purpose in Persian history. It's a giant refrigerator. It was built in 400 BC. This yakral is made of sand, clay, adobe, and lime, and egg whites, ashes, and goat hair, applied one layer at a time until they reach the optimal thickness for the walls. Built like an iceberg, it's much bigger underground than the building above. People would direct the fresh water from the mountains in the winter months to the ice house, and the cool temperatures underground would allow the water to freeze. Because the building kept the sun's rays and hot temperatures out, the ice stayed frozen through the whole summer, preserving food and supplying ice to the townspeople. You ever heard of any of these buildings here? We just found them interesting and wanted to share them. That's a great find.
Yeah. We've never seen them before. Standalone bullet towers.
Never saw those either.
Interesting how the Mandela effect works, you know. But these things could have very well been hidden from us in history. I don't know. What do you guys think? What do you think about this?
Could just be something that we didn't know about. Possibly.
I agree.
Joe Bloor says, I remember Alexander the Great destroyed many Persian sites. Javier says, I was looking up cheap air conditioning. Haha. Hey, you got to find some way to beat the heat, right?
Mm-hmm. This is another curious one. Jeff, you want to read it?
Yeah. If you're familiar, Curiouser wants to know if you remember the Ohio State Buckeye or the Ohio State Buckeyes.
Now, I did not Photoshop this shirt. One says Buckeyes and the other one says Buckeye.
I always thought it was Buckeyes.
Buckeyes for me.
I had no idea. I've never even really heard of them.
What is that? Is that even correct?
Good night, Javier.
It says I'm an Ohio State Buckeye on Saturdays. I would say I'm a Ohio State Buckeye.
No, it's supposed to be an because Ohio starts with an O. Starts with a vowel, it's an an. It's an. If it starts with a consonant, it's a. You wouldn't say I'm a opera singer. You'd say I'm an opera singer.
That makes sense.
I guess so. Yeah, I'm an Alabama fan, so I guess that kind of goes like that. And on Alabama, yeah.
Well, that's the English rule. It's before a vowel, you say an.
Yeah, I've definitely always known it as Buckeyes from the TV
It's
show
all
I
plural.
watched.
Well, not Curiouser. And there's residue. So go ahead, Jeff.
Yeah.
She doesn't remember ever seeing or hearing the name plural, except, for example, when people would say, "Go Buckeyes." Is
No,
this
go
your memory
Bucks.
too? No, go Bucks. Sorry.
Yeah. Now, underneath the image says Buckeye football, not Buckeyes football. And that's what she remembers.
Yeah, we had our team in Georgia when I was in Georgia. Our team was the Vikings,
Mm-hmm.
but we'd have it would say Viking football for some reason.
Wonder if that's changed. Okay,
I
Brian.
just think it's similar.
Yeah, it is. Very similar.
Here is a piece of residue where it would make more sense to have it plural, but they chose to say Buckeye instead. Exactly how she remembers the name being used.
So the title says Monday College Football. Buckeye shines light on mental health struggles. Not but if it was always Buckeyes, it'd be Buckeyes shine light on mental health struggles. It actually sounds better with Buckeyes, but they chose Buckeye.
Well, then they would have had to change it to shine. Buckeyes shine light. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what is it now? It's Buckeyes. It is what
It's
she's saying. She
Buckeyes. Yes, and this
appears
is
to remembers
residue of
Buckeye.
Buckeye. Yes.
I have current memory on this one.
Yeah, same here.
I have no memory, but I would go with plural if I was to go with anything.
Mm-hmm.
Like, for example, the one you just passed, because I'm on a delay. Go back for a second. Buckeye country. Okay? If that were Philly, it would still be Eagles country, not Eagle. You understand? So that's
Right.
definitely residue. That's how you have to look at this. Like, look at a team that's plural, like the Eagles. You would not say Eagle country. You'd say Eagles country. You'd say the Eagles theme song. You'd say Eagles block watch, not Eagle. Like, I don't know. Or the Eagles boosters, not Buckeye boosters. You'd say Buckeyes. So that's why I saw this stuff as residue, because these things should be plural.
Yeah.
Of course, there's always a big rivalry with Ohio State and the Michigan State,
Mm-hmm.
right?
I
Yep.
think you're asking the wrong person.
I just know I see it in all the college football ads and stuff like that. It's always Ohio and Michigan State. They're big rivals.
Like, I would never
Lots.
say Eagle football. It'd be Eagles football. You
Right.
understand?
Yeah. Lots of residue for this, though.
Now, the meet a Buckeye, I don't think so. I think that'd be like meet an Eagle football
Yeah.
player. So I can see it, but I don't. I would say it's plural.
So would I. That's the way I've always heard it.
Yeah, I'm just pulling up the. I think we have like maybe 2 more left.
The newer ones, yeah.
This is another good one. Betamax. Let's talk about Betamax.
Yeah, this is one of the ones.
You guys see
Oh
that?
boy. I see
Yeah.
it. So, I don't know if this is a Mandela effect or not, but it's very weird, so I'm going to ask you. In what decade do you remember Betamax beta tapes being discontinued? If you don't know exactly, your best guess is fine. But in what decade do you remember them being discontinued? Jeff, Brian, what do you remember?
90s.
Probably say
Brian?
the 80s.
I would say the 80s too. Let's see what the chat says. Philo says 80s. Faith Hope Love says 80s.
Now, what was the reasoning? Why again, Sandy? Why the Betamax was? Why VHS took over Betamax?
Well, VHS is a lot cheaper. VHS players were cheaper. Um, the tapes themselves were cheaper. Like one tape back then was $25. Like a blank tape. A Betamax was $25, and that's like equivalent to like $45, $50 today. Actually, now with inflation, we're probably like 70.
Like
But
$75 or something like that.
yeah. So wait, hold on. Michael Fontaine says the 90s. Frank Nunez says 80s because it lost to VHS. Goddess Forward says 80s. Eddie Von Kuhn says 2000. I was going to get to that. Eddie also makes a good point. Beta was Sony only, whereas VHS was open to all different brands, which brought the price down. There was more competition. And Preliminal says Betamax stopped around 1986. And Philo says it was getting phased out by the time we got VHS. I have always believed Beta to be discontinued in the 1980s. VHS won, video stores stopped carrying Beta tapes. Then I stopped seeing them in the stores. However, they were discontinued in 2016.
What?
No.
March 2016. And this article is November 11th, 2015, and Sony announces they're officially giving up on Betamax.
Oh, come
Well,
on. No
think,
way.
But I think the rest of the world actually gave up on it in 1986.
Yeah.
I would say that.
But here's the thing. Not only were beta tapes made until 2016, according to Internet History and Sony, they were continuously made until 2016. Like, this wasn't like a one-off, they make a batch every now and then. No, they were continuously wasting manpower and money and storage and everything to make these tapes. I can't.
There's no way.
I can't. In case you were wondering, the last film released on beta was the Tom Cruise 1996 hit, Mission Impossible. And to me, even 1996 is way too late. Way too late.
Who would even buy it? That's stupid.
Yeah.
I don't know.
How about the DVD
So
players? You can't. It's hard to find DVD players nowadays.
Yeah. Oh, and check out, can you zoom in on that Gremlins box? It's changed again. I don't remember "We're Here" on the box. That reminds me of Poltergeist. It's on the Gremlins box now. It says "We're Here" in red letters on the top. Instead of "They're here," "We're here."
Yeah, that
Oh,
was never
Since
there.
when?
I
That was
remember
never
that.
there.
No.
Nope. So is this your memory of beta tapes being made right up until 6 years ago? I believe this could be a change to our tech history. This is insanity. I can't, no. There's no reason. There was no reason to make them.
I remember them losing to VHS in the 80s and finally giving up making them in the early 90s. That's what I remember.
That I could go with that too, but they completely disappeared for me in the 80s. Like there was no, like by 1990, Betamax was a distant memory.
Yeah. Everybody had VHS. Nobody had Betamax.
Mhm. I knew one person with Betamax. One.
Yeah.
Did you guys ever before there were really video rental places and stuff like that? Did you ever like trade either video like VHSs or
Oh
didn't you have like
yeah.
a friend that you traded with or something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah. I did.
Just like we trade Game Boy games and Nintendo
Yeah,
cartridges.
we trade Nintendo cartridges all the time.
Yeah. Okay, Ryan, why don't you read the last one?
A sports and political commentator's name has changed for Sandy, and she's going to make a prediction. There will be
There
three
will
at least
be.
three memories
Yeah, it should be will be.
of the spelling of his name. How do you remember his name? Keith
You can
O'Blank.
say it. You can say it.
Is it Keith O'Brien?
No, Keith Olbermann, guys.
I don't know him.
How do you spell Keith Olbermann? And I'm sorry I can't give you more letters because there's two problems. So if you know them, you
Yeah,
know them. If you don't, you don't. It's okay.
and this is going to be our last one for tonight because I also have to get up for work in the morning.
Are there more?
No, well, there is one more, but it's only got one picture in it. It's the one for the MGM. Do
Oh
you want
no,
me to
yeah, I
show
want
that
to show. I do want to show that because
one?
I said I was going to make it for this week. That's why I
Okay.
want to show it.
Okay. Yeah, we'll show that one too.
Okay, so we have 3 different realities in the chat already. Olbermann, O-L, with 2 N's. Olbermann with no L and 1 N. And Olbermann with an L and 1 N. And then people joking around with Overman and Doberman. So we can move on. There's 3 realities like I predicted. Let's go. Brian,
Yeah.
are you there? I said you can
Yeah.
go on.
Sorry, I had to step away to check on my phone.
It's okay. So it is Olbermann. I do not remember his name being that long. That looks ridiculously long. I don't remember that. I remember his name being Oberman, but his name has always been Olbermann. And you know what? I could even go with Olbermann with 1 N or Oberman with 1 N because the 2 N's look weird too. All I know is that his name has changed. It's too long. And that's why I said there's going to be 3 realities because the other 3 ways look right. All I know is that this one looks wrong. I'm going to say it that way. And to differentiate, the other green one I put in orange, but the red is Olbermann with the L and 2 N's. So, Joe Bloor, you have the current reality. Claps for you. What I am sure about is no one knows how to spell this man's name. Yeah, Brian.
That's typical with the Emmys. Has this a change for you guys?
So like PBS NewsHour remembers one N. This image here remembers two N's but no L. And then military.com remembers no L, one N.
That's weird. So you guys see there's residue here for OL with one N.
With one N, yep. But that's why it's in green, because it's still green. It's just I wanted to differentiate the different spellings.
Okay.
So I remember Olbermann, and then I remember
Mhm.
it changing in the late 90s, and I was confused. I remember turning to Olbermann, and I'm like, what the hell?
This is kind of like Joe Olstein. His name
Yes.
used to be Osteen.
Yep.
Osteen, now it's Olstein, yes.
Yeah. I remember Olstein.
De La Sandy. Ah. His phone's autocorrect changed Sandy Diva to De La Sandy.
Yeah, he's one of the best commentaries. He's been on. Was he on Geraldo or something?
No, ESPN, MSNBC. So here's Oberman, one N, no L.
All right, so you remember Obermann with one N, right?
I do, but I also remember I've seen it with two N's. And I can even go with the L, but one N, because the two N's look so wrong to me, but the L also looks wrong. I don't remember the L.
I remember one N, and I don't remember the L at first, but then it just kind of showed up later on.
Yeah,
I noticed
and
the
that's why
change.
I can go with, and that's exactly why I can go with OL with one N, because I've seen it that way. So guys,
Yeah.
last week I told you I did not, I was rushing. I just threw the masks in there. This is how I remember MGM. No laurels, the two masks, not the one. This is my memory of MGM. There we go.
Yeah. And for some reason, I still remember Metro Golden Mayor.
Same.
You too?
Yeah.
You too, Jeff?
Yep. That one affects me. I remember Golden, not Goldwyn.
I agree, Apple. That's all I'm going to say. In the chat. I'm not going to say it. I'm just going to say I agree.
Anyone else in the chat remember Golden?
I remember Goldwyn, but I believe
I agree with him. What he said in the chat.
Yeah. Thanks, Philo. So does anyone remember it like I do, with no laurels and the two masks instead of the one mask with the heart shape that's now also red sometimes?
Yes.
Which is ridiculous.
I remember it the same way as you.
I remember it that way.
So much classier. I don't know, it looks classier to me.
It does.
But, guys, that's it.
Any questions, comments?
You have to apologize for having a different memory, Goddess. Goddess doesn't remember any masks. And that's okay. But that's it, guys. We are done for tonight. Anybody
All right,
else?
well, have a great Mandela Effect night. God bless everyone. We hope to see you next week.
See you next week.
See you next week. Good night,
Good
everybody.
night, everyone.
Thank you, Sandy. Thank you, Jeff. And thank you, Teresa.